So where are we at today, Stacy?
Black bears.
Oh, okay. Black.
Yeah, I took my daughter. This is my daughter, Jasmine. Say hi.
Hello, good to meet you.
Hello. Thank you. Where are you at? I don't even see you. Oh, there you
Yeah,
are.
let me open this up. Hold on one second. Oh yeah, video. There we go. Actually, let me get my door back here shut. Just in my house. No place special.
Did you work today?
Yes.
You work every day?
Depending on the week it is, but 4 to 5 days a week I'll work at the church, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually there part-time, but it's part-time is never part-time when you're doing church work, honestly.
Right?
Yeah. But I'm not complaining. I enjoy it quite a bit. Okay.
Terry was on break. Terry was on break, so I called Eddie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
He told you how to make it?
Yeah. I said, Eddie, quick, what was on it? Because I was a jammer there, but I don't remember what was on it. So I was like, what is it? Quick. I knew he'd be working right now, so I called him.
Cool. Thank you so much for doing that for me.
Let's see how many people we have today. I think we have 6 participants. We have Stacy, Naomi, Karina, Brianna, and Nancy. Fantastic. Let me begin with something that I want to address. First of all, going back to week 3, I went in there and tried to take care of the problem that I thought was present because of the groups, the way the Moodle was set up to put you all in groups. And it sounded like some of you had problems getting access to those groups. So I went in behind the scenes, messed with a couple of variables, and I thought I solved it, but I wasn't sure. And I haven't heard back from anybody. I sent out an email explaining that I took care of that problem. And then I think, was it also that week, there was also some videos about parables. And apparently the department, the Bible department, lost the copyright for that, or whoever made those parable videos, they clamped down on the copyright and we couldn't show it anymore. And so I went and found 2 different sources, one video from the Bible Project about parables, and then I uploaded a podcast from the Bible Project about parables. What was roughly the same amount of time with respect to content, but it was a different source. And I'm wondering if people had any problems getting access to that new content or if it was confusing. And then secondly, I think I indicated in the email that I sent out that I'm going to be loosey-goosey with the deadline on those 2 things, because there was problems and you shouldn't be penalized when there's problems on Moodle, right? So I'm loosening the deadlines. I want to make sure that that was all communicated in my email and that you all had a chance to go back and look at that. And then you could communicate to me if there was still any ongoing problems that I might need to look at. So the floor is open.
I did see that one of my group members posted their video, so that was probably fixed. Just FYI.
Okay. Good. So there was by the way, those videos, when it comes to the 3 worlds assignment, the thing that you get the most points for is the outline that you upload. And as far as I could tell, nobody had a problem with the outline. I think that outline was worth anywhere between 40 to 50 points, right? Whereas you posting that video in the forum, in the groups, I think that was worth 5 points or at the most 10 points. So it's a fraction of the value, right? So it's not as critical. Not that I don't care about it and not that I don't want you all to get points. I'm not telling you to blow it off, but I'm kind of just saying, don't worry about it too much. Don't sweat it too much because it's not worth a lot of points. And I'm opening up the deadline on it so that you could go back, even as we're in week 4 right now, you could go back and take care of that if you want those points. And I'll accept it late, no problem. Because again, I'm not going to penalize students for a breakdown in Moodle, right? Okay. Thank you for that feedback, Karina. While I have you, is there anything else you want to bring up?
Personally, no. I just am trying to get caught up.
Okay.
I found just being past week when I was sick and just trying to get caught up and be where I'm supposed to be. My reading, it's been rough for me, but I'm getting there.
All right, good. Yeah, just put your hand to the plow, do the best as you can. kind of in a way of grace. I'm only halfway through week 2. I uploaded some stuff today, actually, so I'm a little bit behind in my grading, which gives you all a little bit of time as well. So if you're behind, just put your hand to the plow, do the best you can, and I'm going to get caught up to you eventually. But in the meantime, you have a little more grace than you normally have, all right? So, all right, good, Karina. I saw Naomi pop up for a second. Do you have something for me, Naomi?
Well, I couldn't figure out the vid grid, so I just posted the link to my YouTube video.
That's good.
Is that okay?
I will
Oh,
totally
good.
take that.
Thank
Good.
God.
Other students, if you're having the same problem, do the same thing. Just submit a link to a YouTube or whatever it is, and we'll go that route, because I'm not particularly happy with the vid grid myself. It's supposed to be easier, but my experience and feedback that I've got from other students is, you know, some people get it and they resonate with it, other people don't. And I'm used to using YouTube anyway. So if that's what you like, I think that's okay. And the Bible department's the one that put the vid grid in there, right? But I'm willing to do a workaround if that's easier for you. So that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had a question.
Yes. Nancy.
For a church visit, do we need to go to the church or can we watch it at home?
Now that churches are open, I want you to go, if possible. I want you to have a submersive, in the sanctuary, you know, participatory kind of experience. Yes, please.
Okay.
That's it?
For our service hours,
All right.
service hours, do we need 6 of them?
Yes,
Is it-
6.
Yes? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, please. Yes, 6 hours.
Okay.
I have a question about that service assignment.
Yeah.
I printed out the paper and it gave me an option for writing a paper because I contacted 2 places and both of them require orientation, which will be either right before the paper's due, like a couple days before, or I'm not going to make the orientation to be able to do anything, or I
Right,
can do the
okay.
orientation, but I.
So there is no point penalty for doing the paper instead of the, right? By the way, the paper option was something that was created back in March 2020 because of COVID. And a lot of people were shutting down the capacity to do that kind of service project, right? So FPU and the Bible department had to come up with another way for you all to do a project like that in light of the fact that you couldn't go do a visit. That's where that came from. Since we're still kind of in COVID, but coming out, we're still allowing that possibility, but our strong preference is if you can go serve the 6 hours and do a reflective paper on your service, that is our strong preference. But if you can't, for like the reason you just mentioned, if the places you found that you got a hold of are requiring an orientation, and then sometimes they're like, well, you can't come to an orientation until such and such date, right?
Yeah.
Which then means you're beyond the deadline, or it's like right up next to the deadline and you still have to write a paper. Yes, we are still accepting that. It is not our preference, but we are still accepting that, so we'll let you do that. You will not be penalized point-wise. The difference is, my experience is, even though it takes a few hours, you know, you have to go serve for 6 hours, that's a more immersive experience. That's the thing that we like. And then reflecting on your experience in an essay is easier than doing research. Because if you're going to do the other avenue, you have to do a research, like, you know, online internet research using some credible sources about the organization that you're going to write a paper for, and you're basically writing an essay about that organization of equal length. So it's like 4 pages, I think it is. So yes, you can do that. But for me, those kind of essays, this is just me, I think it's easier to do a reflective essay than it is to do an analytical researched essay, right?
Okay.
So there is a trade-off. You don't have to do the 6 hours, but I think you have to write a slightly harder essay.
Oh,
But if that's what you want to do, we'll let you do that, particularly if you're in that kind of jam.
Well, the only other option was to volunteer at my church. Is that going to count?
If they have like a soup kitchen or a homeless ministry or something like that. But if it's just like Sunday school, that's really not what we're looking for.
Oh, okay. I see.
All right.
Okay.
So far, we have heard from Nancy, and we have heard from Naomi, and we have heard from Karina. Anybody else? We've heard from Stacy. We know that she's at a cool place eating some good food. Claudia or Brianna, do you have anything that you want to ask or share? Claudia.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to let you know I'm a little behind, but I heard you saying that you're a
Right.
little bit on grading, so thank you so much.
You okay? You're welcome. You good, Brianna?
I was wondering, so the community service project,
Yeah.
does it have to be a nonprofit, or can I serve like a private event type of thing?
But it has to be to an, how do I say this? An at-risk population. So it's not just like,
Well, so I helped serve a family that they were going through like a funeral and like grieving and stuff. And so
Right.
we helped like clean up and helped serve food and stuff like that. So I wasn't sure if that would be.
What kind of
able to count.
organization was it with though?
Oh, it was an organization. That's why I was asking if it has.
Oh
to
yeah,
be,
no,
like,
we actually want you to
organization.
connect with some kind of organization.
Okay.
It doesn't, when you said nonprofit, I suppose there are profit organizations that do provide help to the community, right? But we still want that help to the community where you're reaching out to some kind of at-risk population, whether it's like homeless population, people who are in poverty, people who have disabilities and needs, you know, that kind of stuff. That's really what it's about, because you know that the focus of Jesus's ministry often is on the marginalized, people who are not in the mainstream of society, people who are often neglected. We want you to serve those people through those kind of organizations. And we wanted it to be like an official organization that you would be accountable to and have certain hours that you coordinated with them. That's the kind of components we were looking for.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay. So I think if I understand correctly, everything is copacetic when it comes to the week 3 issues. It sounds like I've resolved them. I've given you some extra time to get that stuff in. Do that as soon as you can. If you don't get to it, I mean, I swear, I think it's only worth like a half a point or 1 point, right? I'm talking about the forums. Whereas the thing you want to focus on with respect to the 3 worlds assignment is the outline, because that's worth, it says like 40 or 50 out of 1,000, which means 4 or 5 points, right? On a 100-point scale. That's the thing you want to focus on. And if you got that in already, you can breathe. That's the main thing that you want to get in. The group assignment surrounding that is secondary and not worth as many points. And then again, the parables assignment, I think that was only worth 5 points. I still recommend you watch it, because that video by the Bible Project and the podcast also from the Bible Project about parables is very insightful. I love those guys. Half my education from the Bible came from those guys. Like, I got my master's degree in theology and biblical studies, right? And I feel like just by watching those guys' videos and listening to their podcasts and other resource materials they have, it's like I got the equivalent of a second master's degree just by engaging these guys. And they're so accessible, right? So they tick the boxes for geeks like me who have a strong Bible background. But the way they present their material, they're also aware that there's people out there who don't have the same kind of Bible background, and they know how to make it accessible to people like that as well. So I strongly recommend them, all right? Okay, I'm going to give you the countdown. If there's no other questions, we're going to sign off. Going once.
One
going
more.
Twice.
One more
Going 3
question.
times. Oh, yes, Naomi. Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. So I think you addressed this last week too, but I just want to make sure. Some of those boxes I'm not able to check off as done.
That box is for you. I'm not using those boxes. The
Oh.
box,
Okay.
that's just for you. I'm not using it to determine. I actually go into the assignment itself and interact either online, or I pull it down onto my computer. So that, what you're talking about is nothing, honestly, to me. It's just a marker for you to keep track of your progress.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Starting the countdown. And again, jump in anytime. Going once. Going twice. I'm not hearing anybody. Going 3 times. I'm clicking the end button. Y'all have a good night. God bless you. Bye.